Let me ask you something. When you think of the greatest forwards in rugby league history, who comes to mind? I bet Payne Haas and Shane Webcke are right at the top of your list, aren't they? These two are absolute powerhouses on the field, each with a unique style that defined different eras of the game. But if you had to pick just one as the best of all time, who would it be? Today, I want to have that conversation with you. Let's take a closer look at Payne Haas, his raw power and absolute dominance in today's game. And, of course, we'll revisit the epic moments of Shane Webcke, one of the most consistent and respected players in rugby league history. And take a quick moment to check if your notification bell is turned on. It's super important to make sure you don't miss any of our new videos and stay up to date with epic analyses and comparisons like this one. Let's start with Payne Haas. At just 25 years old, Haas has already earned immense respect, not just from fans but from his fellow players as well. When we dive into the comparison of Payne Haas versus Shane Webcke, many wonder if Haas is already a legend or if he still has a little more to prove to reach Webcke status. And honestly, it's no simple question. Payne Haas isn't just a player, he's a true force of nature. Have you noticed the way he steps onto the field? Haas doesn't go unnoticed. He enters with an intensity that commands respect. He's already stood out for his ability to dominate the forward pack, a skill that any top-tier prop forward should have. But he takes it to the next level. His impact on the game is simply undeniable. Playing for the Brisbane Broncos, he has become the team's go-to reference in the forward line, capable of destabilizing any defense with his raw power. But what truly puts Haas at the top? What sets him apart from other great forwards? One of the most impressive things about Haas is his ability to keep evolving. With every season, he seems stronger, faster, and smarter on the field. His run meters averages are outstanding, and with every match, he becomes even more lethal at breaking through defensive lines. He has a unique ability to create space and advance without being stopped. He's the kind of player who breaks tackles and gains crucial meters, an essential trait for any team. When we discuss Payne Haas versus Shane Webcke, this is what makes Haas so special. He doesn't just move the ball forward, he swallows the opposition, leaving the defense no room to breathe. Now, before we move forward and dive into legends like Payne Haas, I want to ask you, what inspires you about his game? I know Payne Haas's journey resonates with many people. He's not just physically strong, he has the determination of a true warrior, someone who doesn't give up, even when the odds are against him. I'd love to know, what do you admire most about him? Drop your thoughts in the comments and share your perspective. It means a lot to me. We also have to talk about Payne Haas's defense. Don't be mistaken, he's a beast in defense too. Did you know he has one of the highest averages of tackles per game? He's not the type of player to stand back and wait for the action to come to him. Haas is impactful in defense, always ready to shut down the most dangerous attacks. He doesn't just tackle, he stops the opposition in its tracks, breaks their plays, and applies constant pressure on rival forwards. And it's not just about physical strength. Payne Haas has incredible game intelligence. He reads the game quickly, knows where to be, when to attack, and when to defend. This balance of strength, technique, and game intelligence is what puts him among the best. And speaking of numbers, when we look at Payne Haas's stats, the impact he has on the game is clear. His runs, hard hits, and meters gained are consistent, making him one of the top forwards in the NRL today. Have you heard about his achievements in competitions like State of Origin? Haas's presence in the NSW Blues squad has been game-changing, and he truly shines when he dons the state jersey. He's not just a club player. He's a veteran of high-stakes competitions and has showcased his talent time and again. Payne Haas's dominance in State of Origin is one of the aspects that set him apart in any comparison, whether it's against Webcke or other forwards in NRL history. If you're enjoying this deep dive into Payne Haas and everything he represents in rugby league, hit that like button below. It helps the channel immensely and shows that you're on board for this epic journey. Let's keep going together. Now, let's talk about something that makes all the difference in the Payne Haas versus Shane Webcke comparison: consistency. Haas has been one of the most consistent players in the NRL since he entered the competition. He doesn't have off days. He always steps onto the field with a mindset to dominate. His ability to stay at the top of his game, month after month, season after season, is something only the greatest can achieve. This consistency puts him on another level. Of course, we can't forget the titles and recognitions Haas has already earned, but his true greatness lies in the way he impacts the game when he's on the field. No matter the opponent, Payne Haas fears no one. He's the kind of player who will chase victory at all costs, even when the odds are stacked against him. Now, let's talk about one of the greatest icons in rugby league. A player who made history in the NRL and left his mark in a unique way, Shane Webcke. If you're a rugby league fan or have heard of the legends of this competition, you know that Webcke is a name that will never be forgotten. But today, we are here to compare Webcke with a new star of the league, Payne Haas. And believe me, this comparison is no easy feat, because Shane Webcke is a giant in the sport, and his legend is built on a solid foundation of strength, consistency, and above all, dominance in the forward pack. When we talk about the legacy of Shane Webcke versus Payne Haas, we are dealing with two generations. But there's one thing Webcke did like no one else before. He revolutionized the prop forward position. In the eyes of many, he was the first to truly demonstrate how a front row player could be dominant in all aspects of the game. Whether in attack or defense, Webcke became a benchmark for all forwards who followed, and this lasting impact places him in the same conversation as greats like Jonathan Thurston and Cameron Smith. What makes Webcke so special is his raw power. He wasn't just a player who pushed the opposing team backwards. He left no room. You've probably heard the phrase, "Don't get near Webcke." And believe me, that was pure truth. His presence on the field was feared. He was the type of player every opponent knew they had to bring their absolute best against, because Webcke never made it easy. If we take a look at Shane Webcke's career, the numbers speak for themselves. He played for 13 years with the Brisbane Broncos, and during that time, he established himself as one of the most respected prop forwards of all time. His ability to dominate the front line, make crushing tackles, and gain crucial meters made him a cornerstone of the team during their successful decade. For Webcke, every meter gained was a true asset, and he was absolutely relentless when running with the ball. In grand finals, where nerves run high, Shane Webcke always had the ability to step up in decisive moments. He was a constant presence in classic matches, and always that player who never shied away when the pressure was on. This trait made him a legendary force in the game. When the Brisbane Broncos were in an NRL final, Webcke was always there, ready to be the engine driving the team and ensuring they had the strength and consistency to go all the way. You've also likely heard about Webcke's classic rivalries, haven't you? During his playing years, he was part of some of the most spectacular NRL battles, especially against teams like the Sydney Roosters and the Melbourne Storm. These intense contests and the caliber of players around him are what made his career filled with iconic moments. But let's also talk about the legendary status Webcke achieved with the Brisbane Broncos. Alongside other greats, he helped build a dynasty and led the team to multiple NRL titles, being a key player in their victories. He is a legendary reference for the club, and his on-field intelligence was something that went beyond physical abilities. He knew exactly where to position himself on the field to maximize his efficiency and ensure his team always had a competitive edge. With that, my conclusion is clear. Shane Webcke is better. Yes, Payne Haas has a brilliant future, and he is an impressive force in today's game. But when you compare the legacies, the historical impact, and the consistency over the years, Webcke was, and still is, a legendary force in rugby league. His dominance during the 80s and 90s with the Brisbane Broncos and his role in securing national titles are undeniable. Of course, this doesn't diminish what Payne Haas has already achieved. If he continues at this pace, the young prop has the potential to become a legendary figure in the NRL. He has the talent, the heart, and the work ethic needed to achieve that. But in the showdown of Shane Webcke versus Payne Haas, Webcke's experience and legacy place him at the top as the greatest prop forward of all time. And what about you? What do you think of this comparison? Is Shane Webcke still the greatest? Or does Payne Haas have what it takes to surpass him in the future? Let us know your opinion in the comments below. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more epic comparisons like this one. See you next time.